Alright, welcome back guys to my Let's Play of Lamplight City where we left off. We're on the final case. We're interviewing, inquiring, all that fun stuff. I think I've checked everything here. I actually don't remember. Let me double check here and then we gotta talk to this lovely person here. So, right to left.
Huh, they seem to be making pretty decent progress.
If I've already gone through this, I apologize. But yeah, let's make this quick.
Safe for only 25 men at once. I used to draw the line at 2. I wonder if it would be any fun to tie yourself to that thing and go for a few spins.
Oh, that may be fun. Maybe vomit-inducing as well. Okay, let's talk to this gentleman and go from there.
Excuse me.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is a construction area.
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. I'm looking into the murder of a man who used to work here.
Fordham? You the same man who got Laura Dupre arrested?
Yes, that's right.
Ah, good to meet you. I'm Gerard. My sister Amelie used to work as her cook. Would tell me stories about how horrible Dupre was. Good to see some justice done for a change.
Glad to be of service. And good to meet you as well, Gerard.
So you say you looking into a murder? You talking about Bowditch?
Yes, that's right. I had a few questions for you, if you don't mind.
Nah, should be okay to talk for a few minutes.
Okay, I'm really liking the fact that future cases are coming back and just being like, yay, we did good things and you're a good guy, and just kind of cool to see like all the cases come together and things kind of pop up of like, you did good things in that previous case. This guy's nice to you. I'd be curious to know if he would be a jerk if we didn't solve the case proper. But anywho, I'm rambling from the top.
You worked with Ennis Bowditch, right? What can you tell me about him?
Ennis was fun to talk to, always telling stories. Pretty sure most of them were made up. But it made time go by faster while we worked, and he made me laugh. We weren't really friends, but it's duller without him around, you know?
Do you know what Bowditch did on his off time?
Not really. I only saw him on the job. But I know he was seeing a woman. I forget what he said her name was, though.
Did he mention anything else about her?
Oh, sure, but I don't think they are the type of thing that would help you, if you get my meaning.
Right. Anything of a non-personal nature that might help me find her?
Yes, he mentioned she worked as the serving girl at the ruined coffee house.
I see. Thanks. Do you know any details concerning Bowditch's murder?
I only found out when the boss man told us.
Can you think of anyone who might have wanted him dead?
Well, everyone here liked him. I don't think he owed no one money or nothing like that. But maybe someone at his other job wasn't so friendly with him. Who knows?
Other job?
Ennis also worked at the docks as a longshoreman.
Well, that would have been handy to know sooner. Better late than never, I guess.
Interesting.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
Justice Killer? No, I don't know anything about that. Who is he?
A serial murderer. He's the one who killed Ennis Bowditch.
And you trying to find him?
That's the plan.
Well then, I wish you luck. Ennis didn't deserve to die the way he did. I hope that murdering bastard gets what he deserves.
So, the Gascon-Chumley Bridge is finally being worked on.
That's right. The project started up again shortly after the election. That Leroy, he's not wasting any time. Maybe a good thing for this city and for the country.
Indeed. I think it will be. How long before the bridge is complete, do you think?
They say it will take 5 years, but who knows? As long as the work is steady, you won't find me complaining.
Do you normally work in construction?
Mostly. Sometimes I'd be doing other jobs here and there. But I'm lucky to have gotten this job. I think it will keep me in work for a long time. Which is good, because I have 3 mouths to feed at home.
Be sure to watch yourself then. I hear these types of jobs can be dangerous.
Oh, believe me, I know. One slip up and bam! That's the end of you. But I always watch myself.
How's your sister doing?
Good. She still works for the Dupre family, but with that monster Laura gone, she's much happier. She tells me the family is acting like the madame never existed, and the husband raised Amelie's pay, too.
That does sound like an improvement.
It's just a shame 2 others had to die for it.
Thank you, Gerard. I appreciate the information.
Not a problem, boss.
Okay, so I'm guessing we are done here, so let's go. I wonder if that opens up the docks. Oh, it does. Okay, so we have to go to the coffee shop. We still gotta go to these places. So let's go to the ironworks, and then the apartment, the coffee house, and then back here, and then bounce to other places. Okay, so the ironworks. Let's look at things and talk to people, and we'll go from there. There we go. Found
This
your...
place sure is big. I wonder if they actually make anything useful.
I imagine we'll find out in a second. Iron mill.
Well, that doesn't look good.
Oh. Oh no, it doesn't look good. It looked like it went kaboom. Alright. That's not good at all. We guess we'll be talking to the gentleman there, and then I head to the employee area. Let's talk to the foreman.
Excuse me, sir. Are you in charge here?
Unfortunately. Who are you? This area isn't open to the public.
I'm Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator looking into the murder of one of your workers.
A private investigator, eh? And maybe you can help me out.
I'll do what I can, but I'll need to ask you some questions, Mr.
Mims. Sanford Mims. Go ahead, but make it snappy.
Alright, found the top. I'm guessing what he's gonna ask us for is to help us solve what happened with that explosion, maybe? Whatever happened with the iron mill. But anywho, from the top.
What can you tell me about Hannibal Kirkland? A former employee here?
Listen, I've got a lot on my mind right now.
I understand, but it's important to my investigation that you tell me what you know about him.
I'm sure it is, but as you can see, I've got a lot to deal with right now.
Well, he's no help. Maybe you can figure out a way to help him help us.
So yeah, the iron mill.
What happened to your iron mill?
What's it look like? The damn thing went and got blown up.
Was it in disrepair?
Of course not. All my machinery is sound, checked and serviced regularly. This is the work of those goddamn Redites. I'm sure of it.
What makes you certain the explosion was the Redites doing?
Take a look, boy. The whole mill got taken out. Even if this had been a mechanical failure, which it wasn't, the explosion would have been contained to a single part of the machine. This couldn't have been anything other than sabotage.
Have you had problems with the Redites before?
They've sent anonymous letters, but this is the first time they've actually carried out one of their threats.
You're absolutely sure this was sabotage, then?
Yes. How many times have I got to tell you that? Listen, you said you were an investigator, right? So find out who did this to my machine. If you do, I'll help you out with whatever else you wanted to ask me about.
Looks like we haven't got much of a choice. He seems pretty upset about his machine.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. So see what else we can talk about, and then we'll go figure the what blew up what.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
The who?
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 men over the past 4 months.
Is that right? Never heard of him.
He may have killed one of your men. Weren't the police here asking about it?
Oh, is that what that was all about? I know they came poking around here a while back, but I was busy dealing with other things.
It's nice to see the lines of communication here are wide open.
How long have you been the foreman here?
Sometimes I think it's been too long. Things were so much easier before we got these machines. They keep saying they're supposed to improve our lives, but they've been nothing but trouble. I've already had 5 of my best men get mangled by some of them. And then there's these damn fools blowing things up. My hair wasn't this gray 5 years ago, you know. I swear one of these days, I'm just going to pack it all up and retire. Let someone else deal with these damn things.
I'll be going now.
Be careful on your way out.
So I guess we'll look at the iron mill.
Completely ruined. Whoever sabotaged this knew what they were doing.
I guess we can look
Completely.
further at it.
This place sure is.
So let's go to the employee area and see what we can do.
Hey, that area is for workers only.
My apologies.
Or not. Okay, I guess we're not going to the employee area to awkwardly talk to people and inquire and all that stuff.
Completely ruined. Whoever sabotaged this knew what they were doing.
Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna waddle out of here. I guess, I guess to the apartment, and I guess we'll continue our little tour of the city and try to figure that one out. Okay. Ooh, the wallpaper.
Apartment 2A. This is the place.
Okay, before that.
The number is a bit faded. Is this 2B or is it not 2B? That's the question.
Ah, Bill, that was great. Amazing. Loved it. Oh. I keep hitting the right mouse button. Damn it.
And I thought the housekeeping in my apartment was bad.
I kind of want to knock on 2B. Because 2B or not to be. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah? May I help you, young man?
Hello, madam. My name is Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I have some questions about your neighbor.
You mean my former neighbor?
Yes. In any case, I'd appreciate it if you could help me with some information.
Nah, I don't think so. The last person to ask me about him was that awful policeman. I don't want to have to go through that again.
I'm sorry you had a bad experience, but I can assure you I won't give you a hard time.
Well, that's easy for you to say, but actions speak louder than words.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going.
Is there anything I can do for you then?
Well, since you asked, my layabout husband is out wasting our retirement fund with his drinking. Go find him and bring him back here. Then maybe we can talk.
Oh, wonderful. Now we're playing babysitter.
You'll find him at the Silent Raven. It's not too far from here.
Yes, I know it.
Good. My husband's name is Kurt Williamson. You tell him his wife Ethel wants him home at once.
I'll do my best, Mrs. Williamson.
Interesting. We are doing a bunch of side quests in this final case. Let's knock on 2A. I was expecting no answer, but we did get an answer. Okay, 2A. I'm guessing he's not home.
There doesn't seem to be anyone at home.
I figured. Okay. So, Silent Raven we have to go to. I want to go to the docks. And then to the coffee shop. And then we'll bounce there. And then I guess go just recap everything. Hey, isn't that the flower shop guy? That's totally the flower shop guy. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna look here and then go this way.
This sign could use a fresh coat of paint. Blank surfaces don't stay that way for very long around here.
Nope. Oh, we can go into the shipping office. That's good, but we'll check everything outside and go inside.
Ah, the chum. You can never truly get away from it as much as you may try.
Trevor Hastings, is that you?
Why, Detective Fordham. Fancy seeing you again. What brings you down to the docks?
I'm trying to track down a serial murderer, who I believe is the same man who was breaking into the flower shop.
You don't say. I wish I could help you, but the guy never came back after the night you and your partner came around. Where is your partner anyway?
Oh, he's around.
Well, give him my regards. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get this crate back, or Cecilia will have my head on a platter.
Of course. Good seeing you again.
He's around? That's probably the most clever thing you've said in months. Well done.
Interesting. And I don't think I could talk to him anymore, can I?
Keep up the good work, Mr. Hastings.
That was some motivational noises.
Huh? What? Who is it?
Hello, sir. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Go ahead, but make it quick. Time is money, after all.
Oh my goodness, I really want to quote Gregory Horror Show now with the "Time is money." Wait, I already did. Haha. Anyway, from the top.
Did you employ a man named Ennis Bowditch?
I did, yes. He only worked for me occasionally, but he was always punctual and performed his job well. I learned recently that he had been killed. It was a tremendous shame. Workers of his caliber are so hard to come by.
Do you have any information relating to Mr. Bowditch's murder?
I'm afraid not. The truth is, I knew very little about him. It's the same with most of my men. I have a business to run, you see. It affords me very little time to socialize.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
I believe I saw a headline in the newspaper recently mentioning that name, but I dismissed it as fear-mongering nonsense. There are more important things I need to worry about.
But the Justice Killer is directly responsible for the death of one of your workers.
Oh? Is that right? Well, there's nothing I can do about it. What my men get up to in their off time is none of my business.
Wow, this guy is even worse than you, Miles.
What does your work here involve?
I'm in charge of tracking and cataloging all the cargo that passes through here. I receive the shipping manifest and make sure that things get unloaded and sent to the right places.
And you do all this by yourself?
Of course not. I'm in charge of administration. A team of workers does all the heavy lifting.
Thank you for your time. I'll let you return to work.
Right you are.
Alright, so let's get out of here. Okay, so let's go to the coffee house and then we'll backtrack a bit. And then go to the Silent Raven and work around the town. Okay, so I don't think the dialogue's gonna be new.
Not in much of a hurry to clean up in here, are they? Self-Portrait as a Desperate Man by B. Calvert. A bit like looking in the mirror, isn't it, Miles?
Maybe some of the dialogue's new, I don't remember.
What a cheery reminder of everyone's impending death. Nice seaside landscape.
I'm gonna assume we've already looked at the dialogue. If we haven't, I apologize. Were we able to poke the machine before? I don't think we were. Time to poke the machine. Oh. Oh, right. The steam. Yes. All right. Let's examine it first.
All that metal and tubing just to serve a hot cup of coffee?
All right. Blank paper. Go.
I wonder.
If this actually works, I'll eat my hat.
Ah. All right, Bill. Start eating your hat. Dearest Mary, words cannot express the regret and sorrow I feel for how I acted last night. I swore to myself I would never harm you again after the last time, but I have failed us both. It is my deepest hope that you can forgive me and trust that I would never let this monster out again. Interesting. Oh.
Well, I'll be damned.
All right, Bill, go eat your hat. Okay.
Asleep at a coffee house. One of life's little ironies. A young woman holding a guitar. Completely the wrong way, I might add.
Okay, I guess we'll talk to the serving girl. And we'll, I guess, get out of here.
Give me an old-fashioned tea.
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir?
I understand you were involved with Ennis Bowditch.
Was involved, yes. I haven't spoken to him in nearly 2 months.
Oh, were you not aware of his death then?
What? Ennis is dead?
Well, this is awkward.
Indeed. I'm sorry to have to be the bearer of bad news.
How did it happen?
I'm afraid he was murdered.
Murdered? By who? And why?
Those are exactly the questions I'm trying to answer myself.
Oh, I see. Are you a detective?
A private investigator, yes.
Well, I'll answer what I can. If it helps any, that is.
I'm certain it will. What was your relationship with Mr. Bowditch like?
Oh, well, it was nice at first. He was a proper gentleman-like. But then something changed.
Oh?
It's like I told Ruby. I think he might have got hit on the head at work, because he seemed to be a completely different person. He'd get angry for no reason. He even... Well, that bit's not important. At first, I thought he was just going through some rough times, but after a while I realized he'd changed for the worse. So I broke things off. He wasn't too happy about it, but I wasn't going to stick with a man like that.
This friend of yours, Ruby, did she know an MP named Percival McDonough?
I'm not sure. Ruby knows a lot of men.
Is that so?
Well, no, I don't mean... It's just... Oh, damn it all, me and my big mouth. She'll have my guts for garters now.
It's all right. No one's in trouble. But I think I'd like to speak with Ruby. Could you tell me where I can find her?
No. You see, she moves around quite a lot. Never in the same place for more than a night or two.
Right. I think she's given us a clear picture of what Ruby does for a living. Normally, I'd be all for pressing this girl more until she cracks, but I like her. I think we'll be able to find Ruby without causing her more discomfort.
Well, thank you for the information. You've been very helpful.
Yeah, I don't think we need to press further. Can I bug about the Justice Killer? I think I can, and then we could talk about herself and peace on out.
You've been working here for quite a while, haven't you?
I have, yes. Coming up on 3 years. Been a real pleasure getting to know all the regulars. They've come to be sort of like a second family. By the way, whatever happened with you and your lady friend?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, that nice lady you met in here a couple of times. Did it work out between the two of you?
Oh, that? No, that was strictly business.
Right. Well, if you see her, tell her I said hello.
Aw. Hopefully we can tell Upton that she says hello. Yeah, I want to poke about this. And then go from there.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
Justice Killer? Is that some kind of pesticide?
No, it isn't. Never mind. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then we're done here. Alright, so like I said, I kind of want to work here and check these places out. So let's go back to our apartment. Nothing at all. Let's go to the residence.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
Talk to you.
Can we talk some more, Mrs. McDonough?
I suppose so, yes.
Anything new? Ah, the letter. Yes.
Do you know anything about this letter?
I'm afraid I don't have my spectacles. What is it?
The coroner found it in your husband's pocket. He gave it to me because he thought it was blank. But after you told me about your husband's propensity for writing secret messages, I decided to try exposing the paper to heat. Allow me to read it to you. Dearest Mary, words cannot express the regret and sorrow I feel for how I acted last night. I swore to myself I would never harm you again after the last time, but I have failed us both. It is my deepest hope that you can forgive me and trust that I will never allow this monster out again.
I see. May I have that letter, Mr. Fordham?
I'm afraid I have to keep it for now. It's evidence.
I suppose that does make sense.
Mrs. McDonough, did Percival mistreat or abuse you?
He wasn't a bad man, Mr. Fordham. I wouldn't have married him if he was. It's just the stress of his responsibilities would sometimes oppress him. I would try and offer comfort, soothe his nerves, but there were a few instances where he lost control of his passions.
Did he ever hit you?
He did.
How many times did this happen?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe 2 or 3? You don't exactly count these things.
What a bastard. Maybe it serves him right for getting shot.
Thank you for your candor, Mrs. McDonough.
Can we please talk about something else?
Those are all the questions I have for now, Mrs. McDonough.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
I get this feeling we're done here, but poor lady. He did deserve what he got. Oh, no, it's still open. Okay. I was just curious if that's been tied up and then would disappear. House of Parliament? Let's talk to you.
No time to waste.
Okay, I think just places are going to be open.
The former Percival McDonough. Looks pretty
Till we solve the case. Okay, then let's go to the police station. We'll talk to him, see if anything new we can talk to him
Chief Snelling?
Yes, Fordham?
about. Yes, okay.
Have you got any information on the Redites?
The Redites? That ridiculous gang of troublemakers? Yes, I have some information. What's your interest in them?
A witness is refusing to speak with me unless I can figure out who sabotaged his iron mill.
I see. All I can offer is a list of names of known Redites along with their last known whereabouts. But I remind you that you only have until tomorrow afternoon before this indulgence expires, and I throw you in jail. This seems like a waste of time.
That's my decision to make.
Very well. I'll give you the list when you're ready to leave.
I need to get back to my investigation.
Yes. Time is not on your side, Fordham. Here you are. This is the most recent list of known Redites.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot.
This is a lot of names. If we're going to track down this saboteur, it might be best to retire to a more tranquil environment. Fancy a trip back to Upton's?
Yeah. Carl Sullivan, suspect in 3 instances of sabotage. Guy McCree arrested on charges of attempted murder. Light prison. Paris Wilson, 2 instances of sabotage. Involved in a factory explode. Oh, he's deceased. Okay. Suspect of 6 instances of sabotage. And 4. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3. So 4. I possibly have to go check. Oof. Okay. That's problem. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the Silent Raven. I don't think there's gonna be anything here. Let's get that old lady's husband back home. Now, I don't know if we're exactly on a timer. I'd be really curious, but yeah. Let's get as much done as we can, I guess. I do want to talk to you. It's been a while. By been a while, I mean maybe a couple hours.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Do you know anything about the man sitting at that table over there?
Not really. He comes in here a few times a week, but he mostly keeps to himself. I see his type all the time, though. Older, probably retired and looking to escape his home life. I feel sorry for him, but that sort of customer is my bread and butter.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
What is that, some fancy drink concoction?
No. It's the name that's been given to a serial murderer here in the Chum.
I see. Never heard of him. And if he's smart, he won't show his face around here.
You know, this place suddenly feels just a little bit safer.
How are things here now that the election hubbub has subsided?
Oh, right. I thought you looked familiar. You were the one in here asking about the fellow who was killed.
That's right.
Well, there hasn't been too much excitement since then. I've hardly had to toss anyone out, which is a right shame.
Why's that?
Kicking out a rowdy customer shakes things up a bit on a quiet night like this. Gets the blood flowing, you know?
Actually, I used to know someone back in university, way long time ago. Oh my god, it's been ages. He was a bouncer at a bar, and yeah, there was a lot of quiet nights. But of course, it's university, college town, so when it was what was it, the first week of students getting back to class and everything, the bars were packed, and he told stories about how much fights he would have to break up and some interesting stuff that happens, and how dumb people can be. It was interesting conversations, but yeah, it was kind of the same thing. Your adrenaline gets pumping. You have to make sure you're safe. You get that person out of the bar as fast as possible, and make sure if they're gonna hit you, you need to fight them. They hit you first, and then you go. Anywho. Yeah. Word to the wise. Maybe don't work as a bouncer, although they do get paid good, but yeah. I mean, who knows nowadays? Anywho, I'm rambling. I always ramble. Anywho.
What would a customer have to do to warrant being thrown out?
My general rule is if they're being a nuisance, they're out. If they try to pick a fight or are just being generally disrespectful, it's a one-way ticket to the pavement outside.
Good to know. What was it you said a person had to do to...
Pick a fight or just be bothersome enough that other customers...
Right. I
Oh.
appreciate...
Yeah.
Oh, I get what we're supposed to
Been
do.
pretty quiet in the streets of late, hasn't it, Bertie?
You noticed too? I thought it was just me.
I'm not complaining, mind you. It's nice to be able to go out and about without stepping over half the chum in the process.
Indeed. What do you reckon's the reason for it?
Not a clue. Can't be illness. We'd have heard something by now. Whatever it is, let's just hope it keeps up.
Okay. I think we have to get him kicked out of the bar.
Excuse me, are you Kurt Williamson?
That's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
Oh, yeah? What is it you want from me?
There we go. Your wife wants you home.
Ethel sent me to tell you she wants you to come home right away.
I should have known. I can't get away for more than a few hours before she's put the entire city on high alert. How much of my retirement fund did she waste on getting you to come down here?
I'm only doing this because I need some information.
The joke's on you, then. You can just go back and tell her I'll come home when I'm damn well ready.
Yeah, why don't you want to go home?
Why is it you're so averse to returning home?
I enjoy going out and having a good time. Is that so wrong?
Your wife told me she doesn't like you spending your money on drink.
What I spend my money on is none of her business, and even less of yours. What's this world coming to when a man can't even drink in peace without all his affairs shouted from the rooftops?
You know, this whole situation seems awfully familiar.
Listen, Mr. Williamson, I think I know what you're going through.
Oh, yeah?
My wife and I were having a rough patch. I wasn't being honest with her, and it nearly drove us apart.
But you managed to fix things.
Yes, I was fortunate. I did the right thing before it was too late.
And what did you do?
I told her the truth. I communicate honestly, openly. I showed her a good time. Let's go with the ooh. I kind of want to go with the middle one because we did communicate honestly and openly. Bill would kind of shoot us, not shoot us, but like he'd get pissy. If we told the truth. Let's go bottom. I mean middle. I mean, if it doesn't work, oops, I guess. If not, it may let us try again. We'll give it a shot.
It was simple. I just communicated honestly and openly with her. I told her what was wrong and how I was feeling. And you know what? She listened. Have you ever told Ethel why you like going out?
No. I assumed she wouldn't understand. I really wish she would come out with me, but I know she'd never agree.
How do you know? Have you actually talked to her about this?
Well, no.
Well, then maybe you should. If she knew you wanted company, she might just give it a try.
You know, I never thought of it like that. I'm going to go home right now and tell her. And if she refuses, well, at least I asked, right?
That's the spirit.
Thanks for the advice, friend. I really do appreciate it.
Not bad. I have to say, I'm impressed.
Yay! We solved the problem without getting him kicked out. Whew! Alright, let's get out of here. Okay. Oh yeah, Silent Raven went bye-bye. Alright, so let's go back to the apartment. And let's go talk to her.
Ah, Mr. Fordham, thank you so much for getting Kurt back home.
Don't mention it. Now, would you be willing to answer some questions?
Why, yes, of course.
Alright, from the top.
Tell me what you know about Burley Cause.
He and his wife hadn't been living next door very long, maybe 4 months or so. But I didn't talk to either of them very much. They weren't interested in being neighborly, I guess. It's a shame, really. Maybe if we had known one another better, something like this could have been prevented.
What happened on the day Mr. Cause was killed?
I was here, at home, doing my knitting as usual. All of a sudden, I heard a loud bang. It sounded like a gunshot. I went and knocked on Mrs. Caus's door, but there was no answer. I did notice a smell, though, like flowers. Something seemed wrong, so I decided to report the incident to the police. Not long after that, an officer showed up and started asking questions. Awful man he was, so rude. I gotta report him, but I forgot his name. I think it started with a P.
Parsons?
Yes, that's him. He called for some more officers and they got into the apartment. That's when I found out Mr. Cause had been murdered.
Where is Mrs. Cause now?
I don't know, with her mother maybe. That's usually how it goes.
You wouldn't happen to know where that is, would you?
Afraid not, but there is one other thing.
Yes?
Don't say I told you this, but, well, I used to hear the two of them through my wall. I tried ignoring it since it's really none of my business, but it became impossible.
What was it you heard?
I don't believe they had a happy marriage. They'd have awful fights a couple times a week.
What would they fight about?
Oh, all sorts of things. The worst one was when she discovered he was going to a brothel. I think he might have hit her on a few occasions, too, but it can't be certain. I hope you don't think me a horrible old gossiper.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
You mean the serial killer who's been killing men in Chumley?
That's the one.
Nah, never heard of him.
What?
I'm just pulling your leg, Mr. Fordham.
I like this one. She's got spirit.
Unfortunately, I only know what I've read in the Gazette, but it's scary to think some maniac is loose on the streets doing such terrible things. And with Kurt going out by himself for hours at a time, oh, I don't like it one bit.
How long have you been living here?
Well, Kurt and I moved in shortly after we were married, so it's been about 34 years.
Goodness, that's a long time to be living in one place.
Yes, well, the building may be a bit run down, and it gets colder than cold in the winter, but the rent has always been cheap. You can't really ask for much more than that.
I appreciate your time, Mrs. Williamson.
Have a good day, Mr. Fordham.
Okay, so let's get out of here. Okay, so that disappeared. So I guess our next point of business is back to Upton's apartment.
Right. This should be a quiet enough spot to concentrate on finding that saboteur. I just hope Upton doesn't mind you turning her parlor into your own personal study.
I'm sure she'll have no objection. Now, let's have a look at that list again.
I think we can rule out Mr. Sullivan as a suspect. He's Western Vespuccia's problem now.
Okay.
Unless Mr. McKee has escaped from prison, which I highly doubt, he's not our man.
So maybe it's this guy, because it's Gascon.
This might be who we're looking for, but it also might not be.
No harm in paying him a visit, except losing time in our other investigation.
I'm almost tempted to save before we go find said people, or choosing. I can do words today.
If dead men could cause explosions, let's just say things would be a lot different. This clearly isn't the right suspect. It's possible that this is who we're looking for, but without some way to be absolutely sure, we're in danger of wasting precious time.
I'm not usually the gambling type, but a 1 in 3 chance doesn't strike me as the best odds.
This might be who we're looking for, but it also might not be.
We could pay him a visit. Who knows? We might get lucky.
Okay. If only we could talk to Upton and, do some deep record diving stuff and things. So did they pop up? Yeah, they did. 1, 2, 3. I think I want to save before we do this. Yeah, because I feel like I don't know, because they keep saying we're on a timer, and I don't know that time. Speaking of time, which is funny, I see where I'm at recording wise, so I'm actually gonna end the episode here with perfect timing. Haha. So it's that time, that shameless plug time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out my other Let's Plays as well. All that fun jazz. Also, when I have time, I do stream on Twitch. I think things are getting better. At the time of recording, I think so. I'd like to get back into streaming. It's been a while. Just life has thrown so many lemons at me. But I think I can get back into it. We'll see. Hopefully. But like I said, I stream on Twitch, I do speedruns, and whatever games I feel like playing over on Twitch. So if you're interested, give me a follow there, and with all said and done, once again, thank you so much for watching, greatly appreciated. Have a good morning, a good evening, a good night, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye!